Imagine waking up to a world without electricity. No lights, no refrigerator, no internet. That's the challenge I undertook, and today I'll share with you my experience, the hardships, and the unexpected discoveries. Expect tales of struggle, innovative problem solving, and surprising revelations of what's truly essential when you're living off the grid. Why take on such a challenge, you ask? To better understand self-reliance, resilience, and the true cost of convenience. Ready to delve into the world of a week without electricity? It's quite a journey, so buckle up. The first 2 days were a shocking reality check. I quickly realized the convenience that electricity provides and how much we take it for granted. We can flip a switch or press a button and voila, light, heat, communication, entertainment, all at our fingertips. But without these conveniences, life quickly takes on a different rhythm. The initial shock was, well, shocking. Suddenly, simple tasks that I'd always done without a second thought became major challenges. Cooking breakfast was no longer a matter of popping bread in the toaster and boiling an egg on the stove. I had to start a fire, keep it going, and use it to prepare my food. I also had to boil water for washing dishes and myself, which was a whole new level of inconvenience. Keeping connected with the world was another hurdle. Without electricity, there was no internet, no television, no radio. I had to rely on my wind-up radio to catch the news and my car battery to charge my phone. I found myself rationing my phone usage, only switching it on for essential calls and messages. The first nights were the hardest. Without electric lights, the darkness felt more intense, more enveloping. I had to navigate by the dim light of candles and flashlights, and activities that I used to do after sunset like reading or watching TV were suddenly off the table. But as difficult as those first days were, they were also incredibly enlightening. I learned so much about my resilience, my adaptability, and my resourcefulness. I discovered that fire is not only a means of cooking food and boiling water, but also a source of comfort and companionship in the darkness. As tough as the first days were, they taught me to be resourceful and adaptable. They forced me to slow down, to plan, and to think about each action and its consequences. It was a challenging start, but it set the stage for the rest of the week, and the lessons I would learn were more valuable than I could have ever imagined. As the days went on, I started to adapt. It was a steep learning curve, but I began to understand how to effectively use non-electric tools. The middle of the week ushered in an era of innovation and adaptation. I was no longer just surviving without electricity. I was learning to live without it. Efficient use of non-electric tools became second nature. I discovered the utility of a good old-fashioned hand crank radio for news and weather updates. Its static-filled whispers became my connection to the outside world. And let me tell you, there's something strangely comforting about the crackle of a radio in the dark. My reliance on fire for warmth, cooking, and light underscored the importance of having a reliable fire starter. Matches and lighters are great, but a fire steel proved to be a real game changer. It's resilient, reusable, and doesn't run out of fuel. For light, oil lamps became my best friends. They gave off a warm, soothing glow that was a welcome contrast to the harsh white of electric bulbs, and they doubled as a heat source on particularly chilly nights. One of the most surprising revelations was realizing the tools I thought I needed but didn't. My electric can opener, for instance, was replaced by a simple, manual one. It took a bit more effort, sure, but it got the job done just as well. And that electric kettle, a pot on the fire, did the trick. The process of adapting wasn't just about finding alternatives, it was about questioning what I truly needed and redefining my idea of comfort and convenience. This journey was turning out to be as much about shedding excess as it was about survival. By the end of day 4, I was getting the hang of this electricity-free life. I had moved past the initial shock and was starting to embrace the challenges and rewards this new lifestyle brought. It was a humbling experience, a testament to human adaptability, and a stark reminder that sometimes less really is more. The final days were a revelation. I was not just surviving, I was living and even enjoying the simplicity. The absence of distractions allowed me to focus on the essentials: food, warmth, and human connection. I had to conserve resources, plan ahead, and find joy in the little things. I learned that with a little resourcefulness, you can do a lot with very little. One of the most profound lessons was the importance of planning. Without the luxury of a refrigerator, I had to carefully plan my meals to avoid wasting food. I also had to be mindful of how much firewood I used, ensuring I had enough to last the entire week. This experience taught me the value of foresight and prudence. qualities that are often overlooked in our fast-paced, convenience-driven society. Another startling revelation was the newfound appreciation for the non-material aspects of life. Without the constant hum of technology, I found peace in the silence. I enjoyed the simplicity of reading by candlelight, the satisfaction of preparing a meal from scratch, and the tranquility of early mornings without the intrusion of buzzing alarms. It was a stark reminder that happiness is not always found in material possessions, but in the simple pleasures of life. But perhaps the most significant lesson was the establishment of new routines. I found myself adapting to the rhythm of the sun, waking at dawn and sleeping when darkness fell. Tasks that were once mundane became rituals, like gathering firewood or boiling water for tea. It was a return to a simpler, more organic lifestyle, one that felt surprisingly natural. The last days of the challenge were a testament to human adaptability and resilience. Despite the initial struggles, I not only adapted but thrived in this new environment. This journey into the dark was not just a challenge, it was a transformative experience that gave me a renewed perspective on life. And it's an experience I believe we can all learn from. After all, it's not just about survival, but about learning to live with less and appreciating the simple things in life. Looking back on the week, it's clear what was essential for survival and what was simply clutter. Reflecting on the journey, it's remarkable how our perception of necessities changes when we're stripped of modern conveniences. Most crucially, having a reliable source of heat and light was indispensable. A good old-fashioned fire served as a lifeline, providing warmth, enabling me to cook food, and acting as a beacon in the darkness. The humble matchbox, often overlooked, became a prized possession. Water, too, was an absolute essential. Without electricity, the value of clean, potable water skyrocketed. It's not just for hydration, but also for hygiene, cooking, and cleaning. A sturdy water filter and a reliable method of water collection became paramount. Interestingly, some items that I initially thought were vital turned out to be less important. Electronic gadgets, for example, lost their utility without a power source. Even the trusty refrigerator became a large, useless box after a couple of days. I also found that I could do without a lot of kitchen appliances. When you're cooking over a fire, a good pot and a sturdy knife are all you really need. This realization was a wake-up call to the clutter that often fills our lives. Surprisingly, there were some items I didn't miss at all. Television, for one, was an absence I barely noticed. Instead, I found myself reading more, observing nature, and actually enjoying the silence. Reflecting on this experience, it became glaringly apparent that our lives are filled with objects that we believe are essential, but in reality, are not. We are surrounded by clutter that does little more than demand our attention and energy. This week not only sharpened my survival skills, but also my understanding of what truly matters. Stripped of the noise of modern life, what remains are the essentials: warmth, food, water, and a resilient spirit. These are the true necessities of life. Everything else is just clutter. If you're considering taking on this challenge or just want to be more self-sufficient, there are a few tips I'd like to share. Firstly, preparation is key. Stock up on the essentials: canned food, water, matches, candles, and a good quality flashlight. But remember, it's not just about having these items, it's about knowing how to use them effectively. Secondly, expect the unexpected. You might think you're prepared, but there will always be surprises. Embrace these as learning opportunities. They'll help you become more resilient, adaptable, and resourceful. Thirdly, don't underestimate the power of routine. When the lights go out, it's easy to feel disoriented. Having a daily routine can provide structure and a sense of normalcy in an otherwise unfamiliar situation. Next, practice patience. Things will take longer without electricity. Whether it's cooking a meal over a fire or washing clothes by hand, these tasks require time and patience. But they also provide a chance to slow down and appreciate the simple things in life. Lastly, take this opportunity to declutter your life. You'll quickly realize what's truly essential and what's not. Use this insight to simplify your life even after the lights come back on. To summarize, this week without electricity wasn't just about surviving, it was about learning and growing. It was about understanding what I really needed to live comfortably and what was just clutter. It was about becoming more resilient, more adaptable, more self-sufficient. But perhaps the most important lesson was the value of energy and the importance of using it wisely. This journey made me realize just how much we take electricity for granted and how crucial it is to be prepared for a world without it. This experience was transformative, and I hope my journey inspires you to consider your own readiness and what truly matters to you. So when the lights go out, remember, It's not just about surviving. It's about learning, growing, and embracing the opportunity to live a simpler, more intentional life. And that's my week without electricity. I hope my journey has sparked some thoughts and maybe even inspired you to try this challenge yourself. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and why not share it with your friends? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. And I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts or experiences, so feel free to drop a comment below. Remember, being prepared is more than just having supplies. It's about adaptability, resilience, and knowing what truly matters. Thank you for watching.